41 ships dropped out of the dark sky above Earth, and my hands froze on the control panel. I am Ellen Marsh, tracking officer on orbital station Kestrel 9, and until that moment, my job had been quiet, watching empty space, logging asteroids, drinking cold coffee at 3 in the morning. That night, the emptiness ended. The ships appeared in a tight, sharp formation, aimed straight at Earth, not scattered like debris, not random like rocks, organized, controlled, waiting. My throat went dry. I pressed the alert button before my mind even finished processing what my eyes were seeing. Command, this is Kestrel 9. I have 41 unidentified contacts entering high orbit. This is not a drill. The response came fast. Admiral Grace Whitfield's voice filled every channel, calm on the surface, but I could hear the tension underneath it. All defense ships, move to formation now. Every station, full alert. Our entire fleet had 9 ships. 9 against 41. I did the math in my head, and the number scared me more than the ships themselves. I watched on my screen as our 9 ships spread into a thin wall between the strange fleet and our planet. It looked brave. It also looked hopeless. The alien formation slowed as it crossed the orbit of the moon. It did not attack. It paused, like a predator studying its prey before deciding how to strike. I gripped the edge of my desk and waited for the first shot. Instead, something else happened, something none of us expected. A new signal appeared on our screens, not from the alien fleet, from somewhere behind them, deep in the dark, where no Earth ship was supposed to be. Unregistered contact detected, said Daniel Cole, our communications officer, and his voice shook slightly. It is broadcasting on an old Earth frequency. Admiral, this cannot be one of ours. We have no ship out there. But it was there. A massive shape moved out from behind the alien fleet, so large it made our 9 defense ships look like toys. Its hull was dark, patched in places, clearly repaired many times by people who understood exactly what they were doing. No flag, no name we recognized, just size, and confidence, and silence. Then, a voice came through every open channel at once. A man's voice, calm, almost tired, like someone who had lived through this exact moment more than once before. Unidentified fleet, this is Independent Vessel Horizon Watch, currently stationed near Sol's system. You are entering space that is already under protection. I suggest you turn around. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the alien fleet responded, their words translated through some kind of system, sounding confused and mechanical. This system carries no listed protection, no treaty, no claim on record. That is true, the man said. We are not on your records. We never asked to be, but every fleet that has come here before you is now floating as wreckage around a gas giant far from this system. So before you decide anything, ask yourselves one question. Do you know what you are dealing with? Because even we are still learning that answer. All we know for certain is what happens to ships that try to take this system by force. Silence stretched across every channel. My own breath caught in my chest. You arrived too late, the man continued, his tone softer now, almost like a warning between friends rather than a threat. This world already has someone watching over it. Not a government, not an army. Just people who never left their post. Turn back now, while this is still just a story, and not a memory. I stared at my screen, waiting for engines to fire, for weapons to charge, for the worst to begin. Instead, the alien formation's engines slowly changed pattern, from attack position to something far more careful. One by one, all 41 ships shifted direction. Within the hour, every single one of them had vanished from our screens, moving back into deep space, gone as quickly as they had come. No shots were fired, no lives were lost, just silence, and the sound of every person in that control room finally breathing again. Admiral Whitfield wasted no time. She opened a direct channel to the mysterious ship, the moment the last alien signal disappeared from our radar. "This is Admiral Grace Whitfield, Earth Defense Command. Identify yourself. Who gave you the authority to stand between us and that fleet?" There was a pause before the answer came, and when it did, the voice sounded almost amused and a little sad at the same time. "Authority is a strange word out here, Admiral. Nobody gave me permission. I simply never left when everyone else did. Years ago, when Earth could barely afford defense near its own moon, a few of us built this ship and stayed out here anyway. We have been watching ever since. Someone had to." "Then come home," Whitfield said, her voice cracking slightly, something rare for someone who had commanded fleets for over a decade. "We can repair your ship, resupply you, welcome you back." "I appreciate that, Admiral, but this ship was never built to enter your atmosphere again. And honestly, this already is home. Just the part nobody else wanted to guard." Another pause, then his voice grew lighter, almost gentle. "Go back to your lives. All of you. Sleep well tonight. That is the only job that matters." With that, the channel closed. The massive ship held its position for a long moment, a dark shape against a sky full of stars, before slowly turning and disappearing into the same darkness it had come from. I sat frozen at my station for a long time after that, my hands finally shaking now that the danger had passed. It is one thing to be told humanity is not alone in the universe. It is something completely different to learn that some of us never stopped protecting everyone else, quietly, for years, without asking for thanks or recognition. In the days that followed, Command searched every record they could find: military files, missing persons reports, old registration documents going back decades. Nothing matched. No name, no ship, no crew list explained who had just saved our entire planet. Whoever that captain was, they had chosen to disappear from every system a long time ago, so the rest of us could continue living without ever knowing how close we came to disaster. 3 weeks later, Daniel and I sat together in the station's small break room, still trying to process everything that had happened. He stirred his coffee slowly, staring at nothing. "Do you think they are still out there?" he asked. "Watching us right now?" I looked out the small window beside our table, toward the dark line where Earth's orbit faded into deeper space. "I think they never stopped," I said. "Maybe that is the whole point. They do not want us to know they are there. They just want us safe." After that night, everything changed for our defense program. Admiral Whitfield ordered a complete review of our fleet size, our detection systems, and our emergency protocols. Within a year, our 9 ships became 18. Training programs doubled. Every officer studied the recording of that single transmission as part of basic training, a reminder of how close we came to losing everything, and how one unknown voice had stopped it. I kept my personal copy of that message too, saved quietly on a private drive, something I listened to occasionally during long, quiet shifts. Not because I needed reminding of the danger, but because I needed reminding of what people are capable of, even when nobody is watching, even when there is no reward waiting for them. Sometimes, late at night, when the station falls silent and most of the crew is asleep, I still scan the dark stretch of space past the moon. Not because I expect to find anything, just out of habit now, a quiet hope that somewhere out there, someone is still standing guard. A few months after the incident, a strange signal reached our station again. Weak, barely readable, lasting only a few seconds. Daniel caught it first, and called me over immediately. We ran it through every filter we had, trying to clean up the noise. What came through, in the end, was short. Just 5 words, spoken in that same calm voice. "Still here. Sleep well, Ellen." My name. He knew my name. I never told anyone how long I sat there staring at that message, or how many times I played it again before finally saving it. Somehow, somewhere, someone we had never met, Someone who protected an entire planet without asking for anything in return, had noticed one small tracking officer doing her job in the middle of the night. It changed the way I thought about my work completely. Every scan I ran after that felt different. Every quiet shift on that station felt like part of something bigger, something connected to people I would probably never meet, doing a job most of the world would never fully understand. Earth continued on, unaware for the most part of how close danger had come, and how quietly it had been pushed away. Life returned to normal for most people. Schools opened, markets stayed busy, children played outside without a single worry crossing their minds. But for those of us who had watched that night unfold on our screens, nothing would ever feel completely ordinary again. We now knew, without question, that we were being protected by someone unseen, someone who had made a choice long ago to stand between us and whatever waited in the dark. I still work the night shifts at Kestrel 9. I still watch the same stretch of stars I always have. But now, every time the console goes quiet and the numbers stop moving, I think of that voice, calm and certain, promising safety without asking for credit. And every single night, before I close my station down, I whisper the same 3 words toward the dark sky above me. Thank you, whoever you are,